Alright, what is going on, guys? So today, I'm gonna be doing another tier list video. Now, last time I did a tier list video, it was, about a year and a half ago almost. Or about. It's been over a year, 'cause I think I did it back in March. Uh, but it's been about a year and a half. Or maybe a little less than that. Anyways, we're doing another tier list video. Last tier list video I did, we did every zombies map. And this was before Cold War, so we did every zombies map. That was including IW, AW, and World War II. Well, we're just gonna do Treyarch here. I'm just gonna leave it with Treyarch, because Treyarch Zombies is amazing. Uh, Sorry I haven't been posting in a while. I play Call of Duty. That's what I've always played, and I liked recording. But if I gotta be honest with y'all, I do not like Call of Duty Cold War. I don't like it. It's definitely one of my least favorite CODs in my opinion. I don't know if there's anything that could change it. I'm hearing things, leaks and all that about Zombie Chronicles 2 on and all that. So I don't know how I'm really going to feel about it, but I'm going to give my opinion out here on all the maps here. This is up the most recent of Firebase C. Um, I actually haven't played Cold War since Outbreak came out, and I just didn't like it at all. And sorry I don't have this full screen, like the whole list thing and all that. Sorry I don't have it full screen. But anyways, let's just get to it here. So so we're starting. We're going. I guess it's all going actually in order here. So anyways, we're starting with Nocturne Totem. If I got now, you gotta understand with Nocturne Totem. It's the first ever zombies map. It's their first time trying out, will this be a great map? And that's a yes. There is no reason why this map shouldn't be any lower than S. Yes, this map has things that all these other maps don't have, but that's because it's the first map. If we were playing this map, you know, back in 2008, this map is the greatest of all time. This is including the other maps too. So if I gotta be honest with y'all, that's an S tier. That is a S tier map. Now we're at Verrucht. We are at Verrucht here. I love Verrucht. It's actually been a couple months since I played it. But if I gotta be honest with y'all about Verrucht, I think Verrucht is a B tier map. Definitely the scariest zombies map. Everyone thought Zetsubo was, or that's what it was supposed to be. Nah, Verrucht still got that number one spot on the scariest map of all time, in my opinion. But anyways, now we're starting here with Shinonuma. I actually like Shinonuma more than Verrucht. So everything I enjoyed a lot with Shinonuma. You got the introduction to the Wunderwaffe. You got a lot of stuff with it, and I love Shinonuma a lot. It's definitely one of my favorite maps of all time. It's an A tier map for me. Definitely A tier map. Now we're on Derice. Now, I just want to see. Does it? Okay, so this doesn't actually include the giant, but if I gotta be honest with y'all, I put the giant lower than Derice. But it's pretty much the same map, just got different stuff to it. Derice. I love Derice. Derice is a definite S tier map for me. Definitely, especially back when it came out, this map was golden. Now, the only problem is with the World at War One, you lost your jug. That's like the excuse for everything. I think the Black Ops One Derice was probably the best Derice that we've had so far, my opinion. But the problem with Black Ops One is that all the other guns were pretty much garbage. But Derice, definite S tier map. You got the introduction to Pack-a-Punch. You got all that kind of stuff. Kino der Toten. Here we go. We're getting into the start of Black Ops One here. Kino der Toten. I put Kino at B tier. I liked Kino. I always liked Kino, especially when it first released and all that. I loved Kino. But when I go back to it, Kino is a very boring map. There's no Easter egg. You got the Thunder Gun, which is it's cool. Uh, and the map is cool in general. You got the teleporter to teleport the pack a punch. You got a lot of stuff with it. You got the Nova crawlers. You got a lot of newer stuff with it. It was an amazing map, but it also did get boring a lot. So I think Kino, in my opinion, would be a B tier map. Now we're at five. Five for me is, if I gotta be honest with y'all, a definite C tier. Now I remember after beating the campaign of Black Ops One, it actually takes you to the map five, and I still remember when I was younger. I thought it was so cool. You know, One thing I like about five is that it's a challenging map. I love challenging maps. One thing I didn't like about five was a lot of the features with it. You had the Wonder Weapon, which, hey, Winter's How, it's not a terrible Wonder Weapon. It's not good, but it's not. I don't want it. Definitely one of the last Wonder Weapons I would take. But the location, you're in the Pentagon. That's amazing. That's so cool. But it's more of the fact that I don't know. I didn't enjoy five as much as like all the maps above them, but it's still a good map. Also, by the way, sorry about the bad quality here. I'm gonna definitely have to upgrade on a lot of that kind of stuff. Right now I can't, but I'm gonna have to try to upgrade on a lot of that stuff there, because I know it's gonna be blurry. So that's a my bad there, but you know let's just get to the next map. Ascension. I love Ascension. Ascension, A tier. Now, a lot of people are, if I'm putting Kino at B tier, why would I put Ascension at A tier? Because it's kind of like Kino. It's a big map. It kind of gets boring. You know, Ascension it had the first ever actual main Easter egg, and I remember doing it, and I remember it took me a very long time. Me and my three other friends. It took us a very long time, especially back on Black Ops One. I actually rather done it on Black Ops One than I did Black Ops Three. But Ascension, I just love the map. Again, the Easter egg. I like the Easter egg. It was annoying, as in you had to get these all these certain weapons out of the box. I think that was like the most annoying part with it. But it also had a lot of other Easter eggs with it. That's what made it really cool. Kino did too. Kino had a lot of small Easter eggs too. But Ascension, I think it's definitely better than Kino, without doubt. Alright, next map here, what we got? We got Call of the Dead. I love Call of the Dead. I'm not gonna put it in S tier. I would put it in A tier. Call of the Dead, I loved Call of the Dead, especially when it released. You have all these newer characters here, and they're a bunch of famous actors and all that kind of stuff. It was so cool. You got the Scavenger, which it's not my favorite Wonder Weapon, but definitely one of my favorite Wonder Weapons. You had the VR-11, which honestly I like it. I like the VR-11. Again, it's not my favorite, but I like the VR-11. The Easter egg, I actually loved the Easter egg in Call of the Dead. One of my favorites. It was kind of cool on how they did it with, there's more steps to the co-op than there is the solo. Solo one was really easy. But when you got the co-op, it did take a little bit more time. But, again, it was easy. But it was just kind of time consuming in ways, because you don't have things like gobblegums and all that, which I like, because I'm not a big fan of those. Gobblegums, elixirs, I'm not a big fan of those. Alright, what we got now? We got Shangri-La, my favorite map of all time. Now, this whole list is opinion based, so Shangri-La goes in S tier. But the 3179 JGB 215, definitely my one. It's probably my top one favorite Wonder Weapon of all time. Uh, you know, One of my top three at most favorite Easter eggs. maybe top one, but top three at most. Favorite Easter eggs. Uh, the map. I love the map. I love again challenging maps. Come on, we can all agree. Shangri-La is a challenging map. I love everything about Shangri-La. Love Shangri-La. All right, next we got Moon. All right, I'll put Moon in A tier. Now, I think Moon is a really good map, especially when it released. I mean, you're on the moon, and that's so much. That was so like, that was like an upgrade for Black Ops One. You had the zap guns and the wave guns, which was really cool. You got all that kind of stuff. The Easter egg was cool. Everything about Moon was really cool. And I don't think there's no more explanation for it. Definite A tier map. All right, now it's time to make some people mad here. We got Transit. Transit for me, A tier. I love Transit. I'm sorry, I had to say it. Transit is always going to be one of my favorite maps of all time. Not my favorite, but one of my favorites of all time. I love Transit. You know, the jet gun. Jet gun, it's a weird wonder weapon, but it's cool. Now, it does suck when the parts break off it, but that you're not using it correctly if you're going to let the parts just keep exploding off it. I love the jet gun. It's one of my favorite wonder weapons, but I love how transit's taking place. I actually like the Easter egg of transit. The Maxis side Easter egg, not so much. I mean, it was alright with me. It was really quick, but sometimes Maxis side was really glitchy. But the Richtofen side I really did like. You had to follow what Stuhlinger's saying, then you gotta get the EMPs, you gotta do all that kind of stuff. Build the jet gun, shoot the nav card table, all that kind of stuff. Alright, we're on Nuketown. Nuketown Zombies for me is a definite B tier map. I love Nuketown Zombies. That's why I'm saying for all these maps I love them. Well, I do. I love Nuketown Zombies, especially on Black Ops 2's release. Nuketown was such a fun map. It was a challenging map, especially when you're not getting perks like Jug right away and you're sitting here waiting on like round 20 and you still haven't gotten Jug. Nuketown was such an interesting and amazing map. You had the M27 on that map, which is one of the best guns. Just Nuketown was an amazing map. Alright, here we go. We got Die Rise. I'll make a lot of people mad here. Now, I kind of debated about this. Rather, I think Die Rise is an A tier and S tier. And I think Die Rise is probably an S tier for me. I'm making people mad here. I've always loved Die Rise. Even on release, I always loved the map. It was so cool. You had the Slickifire, which used to be probably the best wonder weapon, which it still is one of the best, possibly the best wonder weapon. You can argue the Apothecary Servant, but you got the Slickifire. The Easter egg on Die Rise. I like the Easter egg on Die Rise. I really do. I like Easter eggs like those. Always did. So it honestly, Die Rise for me though is a split between S tier and A tier, but I will put it in S tier because I think I lean more there. Uh, Very interesting spot where I would put it in S tier, but definitely where I put it. All right, here we go. We got next Mob of the Dead. Mob of the Dead. Mob of the Dead for me is a B tier map. Mob of the Dead, in my opinion, and even if you like Mob of the Dead, you gotta agree, Mob of the Dead is overrated. It really is overrated. It was cool. I mean, you're in Alcatraz and all that, but honest opinion here, you had the Blundergat, which was a really cool wonder weapon, but when you got the higher rounds, was not really that good. Now, if you had the Acid Gat, that's probably what you're gonna want. I liked using the Sweeper more Was it? I mean, I like the acid gas, and that I mean, when you're going for high rounds, you need the acid gun like the Hell's Redeemer and all that kind of stuff. But I like where the map's located, all that really cool map. But I think for me, in my opinion, it's a B tier map. All right, what we got next? We got Bear. Whoops, sorry, that was my mouse. All right, next we got Buried. I love Buried. Buried is an S tier for me. Buried was amazing. This is where definitely top one or two, you know, favorite Easter eggs of all time. Buried. Buried is such an amazing map in my opinion. The map is easy when you get the round 70. When you get the round 70, you got to rely on things like the trample steam and all that. I don't know why people like to debate on Buried and Revelations, which is easier. It's pretty easy to decide which is easier. Revelations is a lot easier because you had the apothecary servant and you can just sit in one spot the entire time. Yeah, you can do that for Buried up to around 70. Um, but it had definitely my favorite Easter egg step of all time, the sharpshooter step. I love that step. You had the ending to the super Easter egg, which, I mean, tell them by where Dioraz, Buried, and Trans are located. You could tell I love, the super Easter egg, and I love the Victus crew, and I love I love the maps. So definitely, that's where I would put it. All right, here, what we got next? We got Origins. All right, Origins for me. See, I want to put it in A or B. Hmm. Put Origins in. I'll put Origins in A tier. Origins really cool. You had the staffs, you got all that kind of stuff. Origins was a really, really cool map. Uh, the Easter egg was cool on it. I love playing it. But there were some features that I also didn't like in Origins. That's why I put it in. I was trying to decide A or B. But I'm gonna be nice and I'm put in A tier. I think it deserves that spot. Next we got Shadows of Evil, definite A tier. Shadows of Evil is a definite A tier for me. I think it was really good, as in where it's located. It was a really really good looking map. I'm not a big fan of the Apothicon Servant. It's not one of my favorite wonder weapons, but it was cool. It's cool, like what it is and what it does. The Easter egg on it, I actually liked the Easter egg on it. It was really cool. You had the sort of boss fight on it. That was really cool. And actually, that is the first map that has had a boss fight, if I'm correct. Yeah. So yeah. Next we got Derives and Drak. All right. Oh, Derives and Drak. Hmm. F tier. I hate Derives and Drak. I always did. The bows were cool, but I just didn't like anything else about Derives and Drak. I just didn't. I don't know. It's definitely just me, but I didn't like anything about Derives and Drak at all. None of it I don't think was really that good on it. The Easter egg was okay on it. The boss fight was also okay on it. It definitely got challenging at some points, but if you had something like the XM53, I mean, you'll get that boss fight out of the way in no time. All right, next we got Zetsubo. I think Zetsubo is a B tier map. I like Zetsubo a lot. I think it's a very underrated map. You had the Wonder Weapon on it. I thought was really good. Uh, the Easter egg on it was also pretty cool. You had the missile step, which the missile step was also really cool. And the looks of the map, it's like what they aimed for, and the looks of the map is what they is what they wanted on it. The look of kind of real, nasty map. It's not it's not a beautiful map, but it's not made to be a gorgeous map. It's made the I don't know how to describe it. The jump scare is pretty cool on it too. It's not my favorite one, but it's definitely really cool on it. But I think that's supposed got B tier. Gorod Krovi. Gorod Krovi for me is A tier map. I love Gorod. Uh, I love the Easter egg on it. I love the boss fight on it. You're fighting Nikolai and his robot. What the mech, whatever you want to call it. Uh, and then you also were fighting the dragon. It was really cool. You had the Mark threes, which I'm more of a Mark two person. I think, in my opinion, the Mark two was a lot more cooler and better. In statistics, I think the Mark three, no, three, the Mark three was probably better, but I think Gorod deserves A tier. It was a really good looking map too. Really good. They did a great job on it. All right, next we got Revelations. I think Revelations goes in C tier. I got the round 100 on it. I wasn't, it was a really cool map on like how it was. You got all these different islands of old maps. It was really cool. You know, I want to put it in B tier. I'm gonna be like this with Die Rise. I'm split between B and C tier. I'm put in C tier, but it's definitely the easiest zombies map we've ever had. All right, next we got Blood of the Dead. All right, we're gonna start filling up the lower spots. Blood of the Dead, D tier. I never liked this map. I didn't like this map, but there's some features that's good. The Magma Gat was really cool. The Easter egg was okay. Some of the steps were pretty cool that I liked on it, like the Morse code step. I liked that. The code step. I liked a lot of that kind of stuff there. Uh, it though it wasn't a map that I didn't enjoy the map. Majority of Black Ops 4 Zombies I didn't enjoy. There are some maps I did, so I mean you'll be surprised on some of them. But I I was actually kind of hyped for this map. I wasn't what 2 almost 3 years ago. When this map and Voyage Classified in 9 was going to be released. I was hyped for Blood of Dead. You know 3 years ago, 2 years ago, I would still put Mob of the Dead in the spot I have it now. But I was really hyped for this map just because I mean it's a remaster of Mob of the Dead, so I was hoping it would be better than the actual Mob of the Dead. Well, it's not. It's very bad. I never liked the map. So I think it has D tier. All right, here we go. We got Classified here. Classified is a definite B tier map. Uh, I definitely think it's better in 5. The Winter's Howl was definitely better than the one in 5, or Black Ops 1 in general, because it was in, Verrucht and all that kind of stuff. In the Black Ops 1 maps. Um, but it was definitely better. Really cool. It had more areas. It had places like, you're going to Area 51 for Pack-a-Punch. That was really cool. It definitely, out of all of Black Ops 4, I think Classified's the map that I played the most. Alright, what we got next? We have Voyage of Despair. Hmm. I'd, I want to put it in F tier, but I don't know if I do. I'm going to put it in D tier. I thought it was really cool on where the map, you're on the Titanic. I thought the Wonder Weapon, it's not my favorite, but it's pretty cool. The Kraken, it was pretty cool. The boss fight's also pretty cool. A very hard boss fight. Again, I like these challenging kind of things. The boss fight. Boss fight is very hard. I haven't. I gotten done with all the maps here that have Easter eggs, I've gotten done with them. Voyage of Despair is definitely one of the hardest. Alright, next we got 9. I think 9... 9 is also one I played a lot in Black Ops 4. I think 9 is... I want to put it in B tier. Yeah, I'll put it in B tier, why not? I like 9. 9 was really good. Especially for Black Ops 4. 9 was really cool. You know, I'm going to say this again, the Easter egg was really cool. The boss fight is really good. Definitely one of the best boss fights we've had. 9 was a good map. Alright, now we got Dead of the Night, F tier. I hate this map. I did, even when it came out, dude, I hated this map. I didn't like, the Wonder Weapon was okay. I didn't really like it. I didn't like any of the steps to the Easter egg. I didn't like the Easter egg in general. Most of the characters, the crew, I didn't really like them. But I think Dead of the Night for me is an F tier. Alright, we got Ancient Evil. Another F tier. Again, I didn't like Ancient. You know, actually, no, F tier. I didn't like Ancient. I didn't like the Gauntlet. I mean, they were cool, but I didn't really like them. Uh, the Easter egg on it, the Easter egg I really didn't like on it. Definitely not one of my favorite Easter eggs. It's one that it's a map that I really didn't enjoy in Black Ops 4. All right, we got Alpha Omega. Alpha Omega, I probably put in B or C tier. I actually liked Alpha Omega, but I wouldn't put it next to the maps above them. The Mark II kind of ray guns, they were cool. Uh, I like, you got the dual wield ones, which was really cool. You got the electric one, the kind of purple one that acted like a shotgun. What was the other one? The one that was, I guess, like sort of an explosive one. They were really cool. I actually kind of liked the Easter egg on it. The boss fight on it, it was cool that it was the Avogadro, but it was also pretty easy. So I think I like where the map's located though. So I think it's got C tier. Alright, we got Tagged or Toten here. Uh, Tagged or Toten, definite D tier. I didn't like Tagged or Toten. It's a map that was really disappointing for DLC for. The ending was also kind of disappointing for me. I don't think it should end like that with the crew, but I mean, that's how it's gonna end. I mean, it sucks, but it's whatever. All right, here we go. The final two maps, the most recent maps. D Machine. I actually like to call it Die Machine, but you can call it anyway. It's not pronounced Die Machine, but I always called it that. And then Firebase C. If I gotta be honest with y'all, I don't like any of these maps. Now, when Cold War came out, I was actually really hyped for Die Machine. I was really hyped for it. But the more I look back into it, the map was really easy and wasn't that good. I grinded and I got Dark Ether. Then Cold War for me kind of just shut down. I didn't like it at all. And I still don't. I don't know if anything's going to change my mind, even at Zombie Chronicles 2. I'm not saying it's a mistake for them to add Zombie Chronicles 2. If they think it's a good idea, I mean, they could go with their idea if that's, if they're going to put it on Cold War. But honestly, I would rather a Zombie Chronicles 2 to be on Black Ops 4 than I would have Cold War. I wish they would add it, maybe add it on Black Ops 3, but they won't do that. That's like a definite no. But, it's whatever. So, Die Machine D tier. Not a map that I really, really liked. Did I like it more than Firebase Z? I don't know actually. I didn't like the Firebase Z Easter egg. I didn't really like it. The boss fight, whatever the big tree, whatever guy that's called, what's his name? Orda? I don't remember his name. I haven't played Firebase Z since probably March. Uh, I don't know. Because they brought the Manglers back, which was pretty cool. The Wonder Weapon, the Reiki, is pretty cool also. But I don't know. Would I put it? Honestly, I think I'm going to put them in both in D tier. I don't want to put them under these maps here because I really don't like these maps. But I think they go here. I think this is a reasonable spot for them. But, I mean, this is my tier list for all the Treyarch zombie maps. I mean, that was, we got S tier, we got Knocked, we got Deriz, Shang, Die Rise, Buried. You know, not many people are probably going to like these two being in S tier. I don't think many people will mind Buried being there. But Die Rise, I mean, normally people will put Die Rise like in D or F tier. Not me. Shangri-La, a lot of people like to put Shangri-La in like B or C tier. Definite S tier. Deriz, that's always an S tier map. Knocked, normally people actually like to put Knocked in also like a kind of C, B kind of area, maybe A, sometimes D, but definite S tier. So, yeah, I think we're good on this. Definitely liked it a lot. Like my tier list a lot. Think it's a good, reasonable tier list for me. You know, it. I'm just, I don't know if I'm ready to see what's gonna be the whole new thing with zombie. I hate Outbreak. I don't like Outbreak at all. Round base zombies on Cold War is kind of dying. So I don't know what they're gonna do. But we'll see what's gonna happen in the future. Anyways, these are my tier list spots for all the Treyarch zombie maps, and yeah, it's been Swift Whistle, and I'll talk to y'all later. There you guys.